last lantern.
Why don't you show that lantern, kept over there in the corner?
Because since I brought this lantern, no one has even asked about it. The whole shop gets empty and filled with new stuff, but it is unfortunate that no one is ready to buy it. If you like this lantern, I can pack it.
Feel free to pack it. Now everyone has a little sense of antique. There is some secret hidden in this lantern.
Absolutely right. Diamonds are tested only by the jeweler. Here you go, take your lantern.
Jack was very fond of antiques. He had kept antiques with him by choosing them from abroad. From 300 years old carpet to the sword of emperors was all included. His house was not a house, but a small museum, in which he had now added the lantern. Jack not only collected things, but also used to get complete information about them. But he did not know anything about this lantern till now. Jack decorated that lantern by placing it on the table in the middle of his house, and then started looking at its nuances with a magnifying glass. That's when he saw something written on the lantern at the bottom, which may have been in another language. Jack starts looking for the dictionary of that language in his book cupboard.
Try to light this lantern. Hey, what happened to this light?
Jack was reading this when the light of his house went out flickering, and he was engulfed in the shadow of darkness in a single moment. Not only this, he could not see anything around him. That's why he quickly took out the lighter from his pocket. In the slow flame of which he first saw the lantern that he kept there, and then it came to Jack's mind that why not light this lantern itself? He hesitated a little. That's such an old lantern, don't know whether it will burn or not. When he shook the lantern, he heard the sound of oil moving from inside it, and the next moment, Jack lit the lantern, after which the slow flame in that lantern went on increasing, due to which the whole house shined, and the next moment, the lantern was extinguished again. The house light was back as soon as the lantern was extinguished, but completely different from before, because the light came on, but the voltage was coming in such a way as if music playing in a rhythm, sometimes slow and sometimes fast. But Jack's attention was still on that lantern away from the light, which was extinguished with bright light as soon as it was lit. Amidst the flickering light, he again starts deciphering the meaning of the word written on the lantern.
This, from the destruction of the lantern. You will get liberation. What is this? Wrote something else earlier. Somewhere I started reading on the other side.
As soon as Jack turned around, there was something written on the other side of that lantern as well. He started decoding it back, and these were the same words which he first sat to decode, but this time, when he decoded completely, he was shocked to see the meaning, because that whole sentence meant, don't try to light this lantern. It is cursed. It is inhabited by many souls. Knowing the meaning, both the book and the magnifying glass were left out of Jack's hand, and a strong lightning struck outside, due to which the coming of light increased even more, and Jack started staring at that lantern sitting there. He started thinking that what is written on this lantern will not come true, will it? Just then, a strong lightning struck, and Jack hurriedly picked up the lantern and was about to move toward the door to throw it away. That's when there was a loud knock at the door.
If there is someone, please open the door. I am completely drenched.
Who is it?
I am Lena. I have lost my way. Please help me.
Hearing the plea for help, Jack thinks to open the door. And as soon as he opens the door, the light of the house goes off. and the lantern starts burning on its own. For Lena, the view is such that only the lantern is burning in the house. But Jack panics inside as the light goes off and the lantern burns on its own. But still he keeps himself in control because there was a drenched girl standing in front of him whose body was flowing like beauty rather than water.
Electricity seems to have gone out. Well, you have opened the door, so this is a big deal for me.
You were getting wet. Come inside.
Thank you. I am Lena.
Jack. Lena, where were you going in the middle of the night that you lost the way?
If you don't mind, can you give me a towel, please? I am feeling cold.
Okay, wait.
Jack goes to fetch a towel for her, and he also says this while mumbling, "How did that lantern burn?" And when Jack comes out with the towel, as far as its light is going, the girl is nowhere to be seen in it. Jack also calls her because the light of the lantern was not reaching everywhere in such a huge hall that he could see where the girl had gone.
Lena! Lena! Where are you? It's the height of. Where is she? Who is there? Say! Who is it? Lena, is that you?
When Jack lifted the lantern and reached near her, he saw that it was Lena, who sat in the corner of the hall, crying strangely. Jack was shocked to see her crying like this. Firstly, a stranger. Upstairs she's crying like this. She was standing well till now. What happened to her suddenly? Saying this, Jack spoke courageously, moving toward her.
Lena, what happened? Why are you behaving like this?
Don't touch me. I understand everything. What do you want to do with me?
What do you mean? Take one, I helped you. Now you are attacking me. Enough is enough. Just get out of my house.
Jack had said so much. Lena raised her face, which was no longer as beautiful as before, but had many scars on it. It seemed as if someone had mercilessly mutilated her entire face. Seeing it, Jack's heart stops crying, and at the same time he gets scared because she was good just some time ago. Then suddenly, what happened to her? Who did this to her? He was thinking all this that. In the meanwhile, Lena said,
What did you get by doing all this with me? I opened the door to help you. But you make me miserable.
What are you saying, Lena? I didn't do anything, and you came here for help, not me. Look what happened. Lena, tell me.
Saying this, as soon as Jack put his hand on her shoulder, his hands did not stay there but went across. Jack now understood that there is no helpless girl in front of him, but an evil spirit, and he took his step back. That's why Lena, standing in front of him, laughed out loud. But Jack's heart trembled, and with that, the power came and went again. And outside, the clouds started raining like havoc. Jack could not understand what to do. He left the lantern there and ran away from there and hid behind a big old mirror on the other side of the hall.
Where did I get trapped? Where did this girl come from?
You can't run away from me. Remember that night? I was running like that too. But you didn't listen to me. And after destroying me, you killed me.
Why are you running after my life? I don't even know you.
I also got this lesson only after my death. That I should not open the door for those whom I do not know. Who knows? Some devil may have knocked.
Lena had said this much, that Jack dropped a big old mirror on her to escape from her and started running. But what could happen to a soul? She came out crossing the Almira as well, and then extending her arms, she grabbed Jack by the legs and pulled him towards her, and then climbed onto his chest and started strangling him.
What did you think, Jack? You will kill me. Oh, this is not in your control.
As soon as Lena said this, there was a loud knock at the door again. At the door were Mr. and Mrs. Charles, well-known ghost hunters, who were constantly knocking and asking Jack to open the door.
Mr. Charles, I had said on seeing that lantern that we should buy it, but you did not listen to me.
That lantern was stolen 4 years ago and suddenly appeared yesterday, and you had also heard that no one buys it. I thought I would buy it while returning to this city, who knew that Jack would buy it the very next day.
Now what had to happen? Jack is not opening the door. It means either he is in possession of that spirit, or else she has finished Jack's work too. I think I will have to go inside and see.
Mrs. Charles, through her power and prayers, takes her conscience inside the house, where she finds Lena brutally strangling Jack to death. Jack is also writhing in pain.
Lena, leave him. He is not your murderer.
Lena stops when she hears Mrs. Charles's voice.
You have come again, but this time you will not be able to imprison me. I have become very strong after being imprisoned in this for years. Do not try to face me even by mistake.
Jack does not understand to whom Lena is talking, but during this time, he was free from her clutches, and the knock on the door was a new hope of life for him. So he ran away from Lena and opened the door, after which Mr. Charles came in and was about to open his book, sidestepping Jack, when Lena quickly moved towards him and held him by the neck and pressed him against the wall. To save Mr. Charles, Mrs. Charles also entered back in her body and started mumbling mantras looking at Lena. Lena took Mrs. Charles in her arms with her other hand. They both tried to free themselves, but none of them was able to run away from Lena. Jack was very scared to see all this. He sat down in a corner and started trembling with fear. He could not understand what was going on in his house. That's when his eyes went to that lantern kept there, seeing which he got very angry, because everything started because of this lantern. So Jack picked up that lantern, turned it and hit it on the ground. That too, not one but many times. As soon as he did this, Mr. and Mrs. Charles got rid of Lena's clutches, and she screamed in pain. Jack understood that the life of that soul resides in this lantern only. So he continued to hurt that lantern. On the other hand, both of them started reading their prayers, and then in the end, when the lantern was completely broken, so Lena's soul also got burned to ashes.
Who are you guys? And how did you know I am in trouble?
We had imprisoned Lena's soul in this lantern. Very bad things had happened to that Po thing, after which she became a ghost and started taking revenge on everyone. That's why we had to imprison her soul inside a lantern.
But someone stole that lantern, which we saw here yesterday. And you bought it even before we could buy it.
And it was a good thing that we were in this city only. We had come to catching the spirit of a balloonist. And we saw that lantern and got your address from there. Otherwise, you would have become dead here today.
By the way, I have saved your life too. But now everything is fine. There is no soul here.
Jack, don't make the mistake of thinking that. All the time, some soul is roaming around us. Sometimes on an empty chair, sometimes with you on your bed. And be careful, because she can be next to you too.